Welcome back. Let's talk about small businesses on this Monday. You might call right now a time of revolution for small businesses, despite the many challenges they have had to face throughout the pandemic with the economy, worker shortages, and now consumer goods are having issues as well with delivery, shipping, all the things happening. I spoke with author Barry McCarthy recently all about small businesses and his recent book. Let's take a look.
You're thinking of starting your own business, or maybe you've already started and it's struggling. What's the right next step, and how can you avoid pitfalls that can torpedo your product? Barry McCarthy heads a company that has been supporting America's small businesses for more than 100 years. Drawing from Deluxe Corporation's century of success stories, McCarthy has authored Small Business Revolution, How Owners and Entrepreneurs Can Succeed. CEO Barry McCarthy joins us now with some advice and lessons learned. Thanks for being here today, Barry.
Well, glad to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Barry, we all want to do what we love, but why is it important to recognize the difference between a hobby versus a business to make it a successful endeavor?
You know, this is a very common question and a place where honestly a lot of small businesses get into trouble, where a lot of people have a hobby that they really enjoy working on nights and weekends, and they'd like to expand it to be a business. And some of those businesses can be very successful, but not all of them. The hallmark of being able to convert from being a hobby to a business is that you can actually make a profit and that you can get paid for investing your time in the product and the business. That's the fundamental difference between a hobby and a business. And if you find out that you can't make a profit doing something that was formerly a hobby, that's okay. Just go back and have that as a hobby. But that's not a business that can support you and your family.
So tell me more about your book and why you decided to write it now.
You know, Deluxe has been supporting small businesses for more than 100 years. And today we're supporting more than 4 million small business websites and small businesses in general. So that gives us a particularly unique perspective on what's happening with small business. Tie that together with the fact that the pandemic has been particularly challenging. There's been a spike in new business formation. And we thought it would be valuable for us to take these unique insights we have to bring them to small business owners so they can learn from others and help accelerate their own business success. And the book, Small Business Revolution, that's available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble and local booksellers, really lays that out in a very easy to consume way. It's not a textbook. I wrote it to be very consumable. It's written in a very conversational style. You can take one chapter at a time and put the book down, pick up and read the next chapter with actionable things to do after every chapter.
And the book provides tips on how to successfully start and grow your business. Can you share a little about what we can expect to learn?
You know, the book is outlined to really follow the life cycle of a business. So if you're not even in business, the first chapters will be particularly helpful, talking about getting started. But the next chapter is really about finances, which is what you've got to have your arms around in order to be successful. You've got to really understand your finances. And it goes on and then talks about marketing and how do you grow your business and bring more customers to your business, your logo, your website, your social media presence, all of those things. How do you put a logo on promotional merchandise? How do you get paid? All of those things are laid out in the book to help you move down the path to maturity. And then ultimately the later chapters in the book talk about more sophisticated topics like testing ideas before you invest in the next product for your business or the next location. It's really laid out over the life cycle of a business. Very easy to read and consume.
What are some pitfalls that can quickly derail a new company?
You know, the three things that are most important for every business to succeed is first, you got to have mission. You got to be clear what you're doing, why you're doing it, where you're doing it. The second thing is you got to have your arms clearly around the finances. And the third is you've got to make sure that the product is what the consumer wants to buy. So let's talk about the last two. So on finances, a big mistake that small business owners make all the time is they think if they just cover parts of all the costs, they're going to be okay. So, you know, let's just use an example. If you bake cookies at your company, you know, a lot of small business owners think, well, gosh, if I cover the cost of the sugar and the flour, and I can make a little bit of money on top of that, I'm going to be okay. But that's just not true. You got to think about all of the expenses associated with that. Not only do you have sugar and flour, you have rent, and you have to pay the utilities, and you have to pay workers, and you have to pay your taxes, and you still have to have a profit, money left over to pay you in order for you to invest your time in the business. You have to account for all of those expenses and think about that whole business and all of the business expenses. Otherwise, you make mistakes on pricing, or you make bad assumptions about how successful the business can be. That's number one. You got to make sure you've got your finances in order and you really understand the nature of the business. And the last point here, the second point, is you really need to make sure that what you're selling is what the customer wants to buy. So back in the cookie example, maybe you really like to make pink cookies. That's terrific. But if customers want to buy green cookies, you better be making green cookies and trying to sell green cookies. Not selling pink cookies because you like them. Sell green cookies because consumers and customers want to buy green cookies. And entrepreneurs and small business owners make that mistake all the time because they say, I like the pink cookie better. But you know what? Customers like the green cookie. So make the green cookie. Give the customer what they want and you will succeed. So get your finances straight. Give the customer the product they want. And, number one, make sure you're in the right location, your value, purpose, mission, all that stuff is straight. And you've got a huge and, big chance to be successful.
Oh, excellent advice. And you're also launching season 6 of the Emmy-nominated show, Small Business Revolution. What about that do you want us to know?
Yeah, so the TV program, Small Business Revolution, is streamed on Hulu and Prime Video. And it tells the stories of small businesses. It's a bit of a business makeover show, if you will. All the things we've already talked about, finances, making sure you're incorporated correctly, your logo, your web presence, your social media presence. We cover all of those topics and helping a business improve its own performance. And we turn that into an entertaining program for people to watch. And we're able to reach millions of small businesses that watch that program every year. And this year, we bring the program home to our hometown of Minneapolis and St. Paul. And we're going to highlight 6 businesses and walk them through all of these lessons and help them improve their own businesses.
And Barry, I'm just curious, circling back to the book, we have a lot of nonprofits here and a lot of people that are interested in starting nonprofits. Will the information in the book, Small Business Revolution, also apply to that?
Absolutely. And, in previous seasons, there are, particularly in season 5, we highlighted not-for-profit there in season 5 and how they can use these same principles to be successful. And obviously with the not-for-profit, the objective is to have resources to invest in the community. And that is a form of profit. And so it's the same story, whether the profit is for you laboring in the business or for the community, which is the target of your not-for-profit. The lessons are the same, which is make sure that you're delivering not what you want, but what the customer wants or what the marketplace needs. Make sure you understand your finances and make sure you're doing the right work in the first place. You do all those things and you can have a successful business or a successful not-for-profit as well.
And where can we get more information?
The best place to start is at the Deluxe.com website. Our company has been supporting small businesses for 100 years. We know a lot about small business, and there are many, many use cases and studies and case studies and tools that are available to help a small business succeed at Deluxe.com. Of course, you can buy the book, Small Business Revolution, at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and booksellers everywhere. In addition, you can also find additional information at smallbusinessrevolution.org. But I would start with Deluxe.com. And of course, you can buy the book at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and booksellers everywhere. Small Business Revolution.
Well, thank you so much, Barry McCarthy. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today. I appreciate your very helpful tips. Looking forward to reading your book and watching your series, Small Business Revolution. Thanks for your time.
Great to be with you. Thank you.